Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hi everyone. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and salam sejahtera. Good day to everyone. First of all, before I proceed with the topic of our research, I'd like to introduce myself. I am Dr. Raja Mandelima binti Mohd and the other authors of this research. The main author is Raja Juita binti Mohd. She is a teacher at Sekolah Kebangsaan Lubok Antu, Sarawak. She has been teaching for 5 years, and she also a postgraduate student at Open University Malaya. And then Dr. Hafizur Rasti, he is a senior lecturer from UiTM Samarahan. And then me, myself, Raja Mainilma, I am from UiTM Negeri Sembilan. And last author, Madam Siti Rosnita Sakarji from UiTM Kelantan. So the topic that I will focus on this for the part for this ICOSAH 2020 is an analysis plan for analysis towards Bestari prayer camp, which will be held at Sekolah Kebangsaan Lubok Antu, Sarawak. And those are the list of agenda which I will try to touch briefly, which I plan to finish this presentation within 15 minutes. So hopefully to all the juries, you can at least take some point maybe from within this 15 minutes presentation, which I will touch on the background of the study, the problem statement, objectives of the study, research framework, a bit on the literature review, and also the importance of the study. So on the introduction part, I would like to explain what is Smart Prayer Camp program. It is actually one of the JCAF program, which has been a recent approach that aims to educate and encourage students from lower level to practice ablution and prayer in their daily lives. It linked with the Tafsir al-Tabari, which the meaning of prayer is worship that is devout to Allah, humble and faithful to Him. So let's begin with the first agenda. We are going to exploring what is BPC, Bestari Prayer Camp. So background of the study, according to Abdullah Nasih Ulwan, the emphasis of Islamic education, especially prayer education on children, should be given attention by parents as early as possible at the age of 7 years, which first, the role and function of prayer is a fortress to commit wickedness, which has been increasingly forgotten lately, and we have been realizing the importance of prayer in human capital development and spiritual formation, as well as empowering Islamic education, which has been said by the Ministry of Education Malaysia. They introduced the Smart Prayer Camp model through the JCAF program in primary schools. So according to the handbook, implementation handbook, JCAF stand for Jawi, Quran, Arabic, and Fardu Ain. So the main objective of this JCAF program is to focusing on the primary school Muslim students to master, to analyze their mastery level in their reciting and writing using Jawi, and then Khatam Al-Quran, master the basics of Arabic communication, and also practice the Fardu Ain lesson. So there are several problems that have been addressed in the full paper, which first, there are still students who have not mastered ablution and the pillars of prayer, which they are still weak on the to memorize some recitation of the dua within the prayer. And then number two, student absenteeism is also an increasing issue, which the Smart Prayer Camp, when they organize Smart Prayer Camp, the number of student absenteeism is high. Why? This is maybe relate to the insensitivity of the parents, which it actually requires high attention to support this program. And other problem, the students who are still not smooth and do not master the recitation in prayer, which is under Rukun Qawli, and it has been detected through their analysis on the practical test every year under PAFA, Perkara Asas Fardu Ain. And last issue is it become very complicated when teachers perform reading tests and the student fail to memorize the recitation in the prayers. So objectives of the study, there are 4 objectives. I am so sorry for the typo in the slide. Objective 1, to identify level of knowledge among the students. And then number 2, to identify the practical practice of evaluation among level 2 students. And then objective 3, to analyze the ability of movement in their prayer. And then number 4, to identify their reading ability or their recitation of doa in prayer among the students. So the research questions are: what is the knowledge of ablution among level 2 students? How is the practice of ablution among level 2 students? What is the ability of movement in prayer? And then what is the reading ability, their reading ability in prayer? So these are the research framework which we will focus on the wuduk step first, and then analyze their performance in the prayer, which will be done analysis 1 and analysis 2 under 2 groups, 2 level of students, which we will analyze before the camp. How is it the performance of the students, and after the Bestari prayer camp. So we will try to compare the result to see whether there is an improvement among the students towards the performance in their prayer. So a bit about the literature review as what has been conducted. The study conducted by Awang Muhammad Amin. Study is about reading and prayer. Reading is focusing on recitation, which it is the basis in mastering something. In prayer, at the initial stage, one needs to learn by reciting hijaiyah letters and jawi letters. This is very important, and it will influence the level of students' mastery in writing and reading skills in jawi, which has been found still very weak. And hopefully, this camp can give some improvement to them. And the importance of the study, first, the Ministry of Education Malaysia, of course, the JAPIM, Department of Islamic and Moral Education, can increase the level of effectiveness of the implementation of JECA program. Other than that, under the Ministry of Education Malaysia, the finding of the study can help to identify weakness that may exist in terms of implementation of prior Bestari camp. And other than that, to be able to for the school itself to be able to implement the smart prayer camp program, which can attract more attention from the parents and also the students to participate with the programs, which the result also important to school students so that they can master and perform prayers perfectly. And last but not least, they are expected to be a reference and guide to other future researchers who are interested in continuing the continuation of the study. So this study planned to produce a result by this coming November, because the Bestari prayer camp has been held at Sekolah Kebangsaan Lubok Antu during September to October. So we will analyze the result. So those that have been presented Previously is only the plan to produce the result for this study, which we will do both analysis pre and post, which means before and after the camp we will produce the result to compare the performance of students in their prayer. So what has been said through Al-Quran, Surah Al-Ankabut, ayah 45, which means read and follow what is revealed to you from the Al-Quran. Read and follow, O Muhammad, what is revealed to you from the Al-Quran, and establish prayer diligently. Indeed, prayer prevents from abominable and evil deeds, and verily the remembrance of Allah is greater, and Allah knows what you do. So that with the presentation, I would like to say thank you for your for listening to my presentation, and hopefully if there is some idea or suggestion, you can drop your comment under the YouTube channel's comment that been provided by the organizer of International Conference on Social Science and Humanities 2020. And again, before I end this presentation, I would like to say thank you to the organizer for giving me a chance to join this international conference, and hopefully our plan to produce the result for this Bestari prayer camp among the students at the primary level may bring an impact. Even though it is a little impact, hopefully it can give some input to the school, to the Ministry of Education, to the future researchers, and we plan to produce the result, and we will start with the full study by December by producing the full result. So hopefully we can continue this study with a very strong result, which we believe there is some significant or positive result towards the performance of the students before and after. There will be a high gap there. So just wait for the result from our team for next participation on the other international conference on Bestari Prayer Camp version 2.0, which will reveal the result. So thank you again everyone, and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.